Lock him up, but why are we paying for it? There's no easy version of this story. On the surface, a man threatened to kill Nigel Farage. He was convicted, sentenced to 5 years. That is justice. But under the surface, you and I, taxpayers, are now underwriting his prison stay. Feeding, housing, guarding, medical care. This is not symbolic. It is a real bill. And we're the ones carrying it. I am not celebrating that we have to pay. I am celebrating that the law, however imperfect, held him accountable. But make no mistake, there is no justice here if the cost is forced upon citizens for a crime they didn't commit. What he did, who he is. His name, Fayaz Khan, also known as Fayaz Husseini. He entered the UK via a small boat. He posted videos online during the journey. He made a TikTok video in October 2024, referencing Nigel Farage. In that video, he made pop, pop, pop gun gestures, demanded that Farage stop talking about him, and referenced an AK-47 tattoo on his face. He said things like, "Englishman Nigel, don't talk shit about me. I'm coming to England. I'm going to pop, pop, pop." He made threats to kill. He headbutted the camera, gestured with fingers like a gun, pointed at his tattoo as evidence. He claimed he didn't know Farage personally, but the court did not accept that as an alibi. He was loud, deliberate, menacing. He also tried to enter the country illegally. He gave false names and dates of birth. He had a criminal record in Sweden, 17 convictions over 12 occasions, including threats, weapon offences, knife possession, and damaging behaviour toward public servants. He had an outstanding sentence in Sweden. He had lived in Sweden many years before attempting to cross to the UK. He styled his social media persona as Madapasa, Resmafia, Afghan. He had tens of thousands of followers. His videos reached millions of views. He documented the journey across Europe, live streaming parts, boasting, dramatising. When Farage released a video about young male migrants of fighting age crossing the channel, Khan responded directly, saving that content, adapting it, publishing replies. The court found he was aware of who Farage was, that he knew the implications. The judge, Mrs. Justice Stein, described the threat as pretty chilling. The jury convicted him. The total sentence, 5 years, with an 8-month sentence for illegal entry concurrent. He will serve part of that in prison, less time on remand, or credit for time served. After release, there will be license conditions and risk of recall if breached. That's the factual core. No guesswork. That's the man. That's the threat. That's the crime. What it costs and will cost. Prisons don't run themselves, and they don't run cheaply. The average cost of a prison place in England and Wales is about £51,000 per year for a medium category inmate. Multiply that by 5. You get approximately £255,000. That's our money being funneled into bricks, bars, food, guards, health services, admin, clothing, bedding, security, mental health, transport, infrastructure. That's not a government program you vaguely tolerate, it's a line item you directly subsidize. Then add the hidden costs: court proceedings, police operations, legal representation, prisoner transport, remand, appeals, license enforcement, possible deportation litigation. Those balloon fast. When all is counted, the real bill may approach 300,000 or more for that one case. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Justice runs a budget in the billions. The prison service is stretched, overcrowded, understaffed, vulnerable to staff strikes, cuts, safety concerns. Each place is more expensive, each additional detainee pushes capacity further. Some jails are operating at 23 to 30% overcrowding. Self-harm incidents rise. Assaults on staff climb. Education and rehabilitation programs are cut due to budget strain. The cost of doing justice here is rising year after year, often faster than inflation. You and I feel that in our taxes, in council budgets getting squeezed, in public services being cut to cover unavoidable fees. So yes, locking him up is one thing. Paying for it, that eats your anger. The legal bind. You might ask, why can't they just deport him immediately and end the expense, because law doesn't bend that way? Once convicted, you must respect due process. Human rights protections apply. Courts assess risk of torture or persecution upon removal. Afghanistan is often considered unsafe under ECHR Article 3. Legal appeals drag on. Extradition requests, diplomatic agreements, these are not buttons you press. If the UK tries to deport to an unsafe country, courts may block it. If a partner country won't accept them, you're stuck. And even after all that, deportation logistics cost money. Flights, security, logistics. The system built this way. You cannot convict someone and then simply dump them into nowhere. The law demands standard of care, legal safety, risk assessments. That's morally and legally required in a civilized system. But it also means the cost doesn't vanish when the sentence is imposed. It's baked in. So you end up with the paradox. You want punishment, you get it. But the punishment gets paid from your pocket. The lose-lose trap. This is where your rage makes sense. You don't want to finance criminals, you don't want your taxes wasting on threats. But you also hate the thought that our legal structure would knowingly pay for it as the price of enforcing the law. If you say, stop paying, you risk breaching rights or undermining rule of law. If you say, lock him up, you implicitly accept that the public must pay. If you say deport fast, you collide with human rights, diplomacy, legal safeguards. You are stuck in a prison of your own making, a gun to your wallet. Either he rots in a cell paid by you, or you let the law be hollow. In truth, many people see this story and think, why not him, and why not us? Because the same machinery that imprisons him is the same machinery that underfunds your schools, delays your surgeries, trims your social care. When you call it unfair, you're not being heartless or soft. You're being honest. This is no balm. It's not some poetic justice. It's a system that monetizes enforcement by putting the invoice in your name. What could be different? To break the bind, you need structural change. Not charity, not slogans, but system rewiring. 1. Fast-track removal laws. Convicted criminals who break immigration rules must be eligible for immediate deportation, with minimal appeals, if safe removal pathways exist. 2. Deportation treaties and partner countries. Make binding agreements with countries of origin or third nations so that return is feasible, lawful, and fast. 3. Lower cost detention models. Rather than full prison, use specialist immigration detention centres with reduced overhead. 4. Electronic monitoring for non-violent immigration offences, shackles, tags, nightly curfews, cheaper alternatives to full custody. 5. Cost recovery schemes. When possible, require bonds, fines, or future financial claims on deportees or their sponsors so the state recoups part of the cost. 6. Transparency and public cost accounting. Every prison should publish real unit costs. Every case should show the public what we're paying. Let citizens see the weight of each sentence in pounds. 7. Reform sentencing mix. For lesser immigration crimes, shift penalties away from long custody toward community or supervised punishments. 8. Strengthened asylum screening earlier, more robust border filtering so fewer people get to the stage where they cross illegally and then require full criminal consequences. These are not easy. Each demands legislation, diplomacy, legal safeguards, and political will. But the alternative is living perpetually pissed off while carrying the cost of a system that punishes you by default. Your argument spoken loud. So here's the oath you get to carry. Yes, criminals must be held to account. No, citizens should not be forced to subsidize their captivity. Let that tension burn. Let the judge lock him up, fine. But the film cannot end there. Because when the bars rattle and the lights shut off, the accountant opens the ledger, and your name is on it. Let the sentence be real. Let the cost be real. Let the system know that enforcement without respect for the burden is tyranny. There is no justice when you pay for the punishment. There is only a cruel joke. We lock him up, then we pay to lock him up. And in that loop, we are complicit. Not because we choose it, but because no one built a better system yet. Not right, not left, just real.